Hello and welcome back to another video on this channel. Now, today is my response to that freak, Anna Robinson, who put up that god-awful article called 14 Things That Frustrate Me About Hull. Is it somewhat controversial? I don't know. It was terrible. It was atrocious. I absolutely wiped the floor with it, and I said to you guys that I would eventually make my response. And today is the day when I'm doing it. I've got my hair cut, I've got a nice shave, I've had time to think about it, and I've finally made my response. I've uploaded an article on strobeproductions.com, so if you guys want to see the article I'm going to be reacting to today, my article, the link will be in the description. I've also put it on my personal website called Liam's Thoughts. That's liamsthoughts.com. That'll be also in the description as well. So, to start off with, I've also done 14 things that frustrate me about Hull. But this case, in this instance, I've actually done it about things about Hull. She was doing it about, people standing in front of me when I'm walking in the street. Pubs closing early, vice versa. That's nationwide. That's almost global. You go to Iraq, you go to Australia, you go to Venezuela, you go to all the continents in the world, you'll more than likely find them problems right there and then. It's terrible. It was a terrible article with no thought put into it whatsoever. This article, however, to be honest, I am blowing my own trumpet. I'm better than her. She's shit. She's terrible. God awful. But anyways, that's besides the point. Let's get straight into the first one, guys. So, the first one is this is really Hull specific, but the first one is the pessimists amongst us. When I'm referring to us, I'm referring to the people that are born in Hull. So, for the people that are watching that are maybe not from Hull, most of the people that live in Hull call it a shithole. Say, what's the point of living in Hull? There's nothing here. We want to get away. We want to live in LA. We want to live in Leeds. We want to live elsewhere other than the place we're living right now. My response to that is, after the city of culture, after the influx of cash that we got from the city of culture, we've seen drastic changes. I say in my article, we've got the bonus arena, we've got the redevelopment of the Ferrens Art Gallery. The Ferrens Art Gallery recently was nominated for being one of the best museums nationwide. It was up against an Edinburgh, I think it was either Edinburgh or Glasgow museum. That's something that's commendable. That's something to have an accolade. Wow, we've got one of the best museums in the country, in this very city. How can it be that bad? But I'll proceed. So Humber Street, that's getting more money put into it. There's currently buildings in place being built where there's going to be more outlets, there's going to be more choices, more selection of shops, bars, restaurants, eateries, you name it. Humber Street's got it. I keep going. So Hull New Theatre, the redevelopment of Hull New Theatre. So Hull New Theatre was originally our theatre, and then it got a bit more money onto it. The council thought, you know what, we're going to put a shed load of cash into this project, redevelop it, make it a little bit more bigger, attract more people to that part of the city, and it seems like it's doing a good job. I mean, I'm pretty sure the reopening of it got the Royal, is it the Royal Albert Ballet, something like that? The top class, the best ballet people in the country went there. Pretty cool. But yeah, number one is the pessimist among us. Literally, go read the article and go into detail of how Hull has improved. It should not be voted one of the worst cities in the world, and us as Hull folk should not be bashing our own city. We should be propping our city up instead of putting it down. So number two is the empty outlets in station. Now Hannah Robinson, being that she's a journalist of Hull Live or Hull Daily Mail, I'm not sure if she does publications in the actual physical copy of the newspaper. I highly doubt that. But moving on to my point, empty outlets in station. Why did she mention this? Why did she not mention empty outlets in station? Our own station, do you know what I was on about in my previous point about the redevelopment? The council saw that the station was the focal point, the very first point of tourists coming off a train and seeing our city for the first time, potentially. So they wanted to redevelop that area and get more money, more stations, more outlets there, so when they come in, they have a good first impression. that was how it was supposed to go. In reality, they've actually, I think they've thrown shed loads of cash there. I think it's well into the millions. I mean, I'm going to throw a number out there. I think it's about 4 million. £4 million has been thrown into our station, and what have we got to show for it? A Starbucks, a museum about trains, and two empty outlets. Are you kidding me? 4 million quid, and that's all you've got to show for it. A Starbucks and a museum that most of the people that are under the age of 50, I'm sorry to say, will not go in. Will not go in. It's honestly ridiculous, but what I say in my article is, if you look to the side where many of our bus lanes are, we've got a lot of outlets. So we've got a Subway, we've got a Greggs, and we used to have a newspaper shop that unfortunately closed. Why don't we move the Greggs to the front? Because not a lot of people that are unfamiliar with the city's structure know that there's a Greggs down that lane. Get the fucking Greggs! Get the Greggs at the front! It's a disgrace, but that's all City Council for you, isn't it? So number 3, ladies and gentlemen, is non-sports fans. Now this really riles me up, this one, because it's more specifically to Hull, but in general this could be, you know, nationwide. So potentially this could just be just a general one. But in terms of Hull, you have Hull FC fans, you have Hull City fans, and you have Hull Kingston Rovers fans. I tend to not like Hull Kingston Rovers fans because they're the rivals to my other rugby team, which I support, which is Hull FC. Hull City I tend to not like because their fans typically don't like rugby fans in general, because they say it's an inferior sport and their sport is superior, and it's the only sport that we should be supporting within this city. But then we get non-sports fans out of the bracket of what I just mentioned, which say, why do you watch sport? Why do you say we when you're referring to your team? And why do you pay your hard-earned money to go watch 11 players throw a ball around or kick a ball around? My response to this, I go into detail in this article. I pretty much outright say, right, you don't know what you're talking about, and if you did, you'd realise why sport is the way it is. I cannot say within this video how frustrated I am with these people. Just go read the article. Just go read it. I've no time for them sorts of people. Disgraceful. Anyways, number 4. Now this is where it gets juicy. I'm coming for you, Anna Robinson. But here we go. The local media. The local media. I start off my article by saying the lesser of two evils. Look north. What should we say about Look North, other than it being terrible, monotonous, boring, a chore to watch, the absolute drovel? It's a disgrace that we have this on our local media, our channels. What you turn on the telly at 20 to 7, you're eating your tea, you think, you know what, let me put some of the news on, let's see what happens. A 20-minute broadcast, and you have about 10 stories where you can only dedicate roughly a minute or two to each. It's so stupid. I said to my mum, the response that it should be, they should change the whole model and say, right, these are the headlines and this is our featured story, and take about 15 minutes telling you, outlining the facts of that story. It'd be so much more entertaining. So much more entertaining. Then maybe on Saturday you could do a brief roundup of this 20-minute broadcast, but you don't do that because you're failing news broadcast, you're failing media. Traditional media's going, it's out the door, you're in the bin, you're trash. This is the new media. This is me talking to this camera, uploading it to YouTube is the new media. You're gone, mate. Soon to be gone. Soon to be gone. Anyways, local media, trash. Hannah Robinson, trash. Hull Ave, trash. Calendar's not too bad. I don't mind calendar. You know, they set the game up a little, but it's what? 0.1 Hull Ave, 0.2 Look North, 3 out of 10 calendar. It's not that much of a step up. They're still below average. It's still terrible. Still a chore to watch. Number 5, ladies and gentlemen, is KCOM. I mean... oh my word. Literally... I'm choking of laughter because it's that funny. KCOM is a laughing stock. Laughing stock. I mean, just ask anyone in Hull what they think of KCOM and they just start bursting out laughing. If they don't start bursting out laughing, they start crying. Why do they cry? Because of how shit they are! They're terrible! You pay obscene amounts of money every single month and every single year for a subscription or a connection to broadband, and they'd say, oh, we'll make it work tonight. Oh, tonight we won't make it work. It's so stupid! Have a continuous network that keeps running for the entire duration of my subscription. Because if not, what's the point? They've got a monopoly of the internet in Hull. That is KCOM for you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on. Look at that! Get hungry, kid! Number 6. Hull being one of the worst places to live. Now this is some beef with the national media who continuously put articles out and publish lists with Hull being amongst the worst places to live. Have they ever been to Hull? Have they ever been to Hull? Which places of Hull are they looking at? What dictates it being a bad city? Is it the infrastructure? Is it the jobs? What is it? Unemployment? Teenage pregnancy? What statistics are you looking at? What are you looking at? It's so stupid. I actually saw one recently. Even after City of Culture, they're putting us in the worst places to live. I say in the article, how about you come to the city, I buy you some patty and chips, and you could be on your merry way and fuck off back to Cornwall or wherever you came from. Because that's a shithole. Cornwall, shithole. Fucking, what we got? Hastings, shithole. Southampton, shithole. Exeter, shithole. Tell me why they're not. Give me some facts why they're not. Hull, quite frankly, is better than places. Better than them places. Miles better. The people are better. The food is better. We actually have our own cuisine. But oh no, these people on the national media don't seem to realise that because they write the list in the tiny little office in London and don't ever venture to these places. Is that what journalism's come to now? You write a full-on list saying, oh, well, this place is the 4th worst place to live. Have you ever been there? It's always up north. I always see Leeds being one of the worst places to live. Probably Leeds is up there one of the best. Yorkshire is one of the best places to live. It's one of the most prosperous, thriving places in England today. Today. We have the most Olympians. We have the most money contributing to the actual economy outside of London. Tell me why a lot of these places in Yorkshire are the worst places to live. Oh, you're already going to York though, aren't you? You like going to York? It's just, oh no, when we go to Leeds, when we go to Sheffield, when we go to Hull, that's where the problem lies. No, fuck you. Fuck you. Let's move on. Number 7, it's quite self-explanatory, the clipboard people in town. I don't need to say anything other than, just go read the article. I've got a nice, lovely depiction of what happens when you meet these absolute arsewipe, bin of the society we live in, these people. Absolute tropes, dross. Absolute disgraceful people. It's terrible, terrible. I mean, they're robbing a paycheck, stealing a paycheck. Number 8 people, Tesco closing early on a Sunday. Now, I'm not going to go too much into detail about this because it's quite specific, but closing early on a Sunday, Tesco, please. This is maybe me preaching a lot, me complaining, but please, can we change the rules? If you're a supermarket, just open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. If you're a local business, we'll give you a bit of that rest time, but please, I'm sure you can find people to work on these certain days. Is the regulations, is that why you can't do it? What's the reason? Number 9, a closed gate entrance outside of the KCOM Stadium. Now, we've already established why KCOM is a shithouse. The company's a shithouse. And, the whole board of directors, they're pretty much shithouses, quote unquote. But the closed gate entrance outside of KCOM is on another level because that ain't even KCOM doing that. That's the security company outright saying you cannot pass through this gate because it's a security breach. Or that terrorists might potentially come through this gate. What? If the terrorists or these people that want to do harm to me, you, who's watching, and the people that are going through the gate, if they really want to do harm to these people, they're going to find another way, aren't they? They're going to find another way. How, oh my God, how stupid do you think these people are? If they're brainy enough to find, create, and make the substances for a bomb, obviously they're going to follow an alternative route to go, oh, that gate's banned, oh, well, that gate's gone. Oh, well, that's it now. I can't blow people up. No, they're going to find another way. Just open the goddamn gate. It's an inconvenience for everyone. Please. Number 10, ladies and gentlemen, is Don't Burger increasing their prices. Now, I don't know about you, but I was a lover of Don't Burger. People in Hull love Don't Burger. They've got many branches in and around Hull. They've got their own restaurant now. And it seems as if, since they got their restaurant, they're being a bit fishy about their prices. They've started to realise, these business rates about this restaurant are going up. Let's up our prices. Now we're going to pay $7.50 for a bastard smoked Don't Burger. Are you out of your mind? That's why I said in my article, I go to Domino's, get a collection perfection, meal deal, don't mind if I do. Number 11. Is the gangs of youths outside station and town right near McDonald's, Jameson Street in the city centre. Now this is annoying because when I regularly went to media, at Hull College, I used to go to Hull College media, people know about this, I used to go through this bit every single day and see these people without fail. If it's not one group, it's another group. Pardon me. It just seems like it's a prime spot for chaps, and it does my head in. It does my head in because I'm walking through, I'm minding my own business, and I see a leg come out. Like, either they're trying to trip me up, they're trying to cause a nuisance. I'm thinking, I'll just ignore it, fair dues. And then when I come home from college, I think, you know what, I might want a McChicken sandwich. So I go into McDonald's, get a McChicken sandwich, and lo and behold, that gang is still outside and I think they want some food as well. So they're coming to McDonald's, get their food, and then when they don't get it in time, start causing a scene and start nattering to the staff. It's a disgrace. Get them away. Thankfully the council are doing something about it and have got security near there, but that's because of the spice heads, not because of the chaps. Get the chaps away, get the spice heads away, you might see some more custom around that area. Number 12, people, is the pointless nature of the walking centre. Right, I'm just going to turn the light for this, because for some reason, there's just no light in this bitch. Right, anyways, let's carry on. I'm a bit more orange now, a bit more brown, but the point of the video is to get this article out to the world, get this article out to you a lot to show what real journalism is. So guys, I was saying, the pointless nature of the walking centre is number 12 on my list. It's just an absolute disaster, isn't it, that walking centre? For those of you who aren't aware, the walking centre is, if you can't get into your GP, you go into the walking centre, fill out your details, and you get seen by a registered doctor, like a professional doctor. So after waiting 4 hours, you eventually go into the practice, you eventually get sat down, you tell your doctor your problem. I have some asthma problems every now and then, seasonal asthma, so during summertime like we are now, I sometimes get really bad hay fever or really bad, is it antihistamine problem, so I need antihistamine tablets. So if I can't get into my GP, I'm like, alright, I'll go to the walking centre, wait 4 hours, get seen, and he says, because we haven't got the records, because the strong tablets, we can't provide you any. Go see blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, so why didn't you tell me this at the fucking desk? Why didn't you tell me this when I'm fucking filling out the form? You twats! Number 13, people, got 2 more on this list before we wrap up. Number 13 is the neglect of our parks. This one's good. This one is great. So, the local parks near me, they're a disaster as well. You've got druggies on there, plonkies, dog poo everywhere. It's just an absolute bundle of laughs in it. What else can be said? What else can be said? And the park rangers just gone on strike. For the summertime, they're literally just laying dormant. Are they in hiding? Where are you? The park rangers! Where are you? Hello? Do something about the parks, they're getting worse. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, is the site of New York, do something with it. That's the title of it. So as you come into the city centre in Hull, you look upon all the sights and scenes what you see. And right outside our station is a lovely abandoned site, what used to be a pub called New York. Now, when that was a thing, it was already abandoned. So they knocked it down, they managed to knock it down, find the guy that owned it, I think he was in Sweden or something, he was refusing to sell it. Eventually sold it to the council knocked it down, and now it's just wasteland. Wasteland, we did originally have boards up, so you couldn't really see, you know, below 6 foot what was going on. They've took the boards off now. It's a complete wasteland, so anyone venturing into Hull or going to the car park can see this absolute arsehole, and then that's their first impressions of Hull. It's fathomable. I cannot fathom. I don't know what that word was, but I cannot fathom how these people are in charge of the Hull City Council. You know, the planning team. What are you doing? You are stealing a paycheck. You disgraceful humans. Anyways, that just about does it. If you want to check out the article, like I said, the link will be in the description to not only the Strobe Productions website, but my own personal website, Leon's Thoughts. Check both of them out. I'm just about done. I'm just about nearly losing my voice. Oh, I've let off some steam. This is the end of my, you know, rebuttal to Han Robinson. She probably won't see this. I don't even care. We know what level of journalism she's at. We know what level of journalism I'm at. Critique my performance. If you say I'm terrible, I'm terrible. But I know full well I'm a little bit better than that freak. Than that terrible human who wrote that atrocious article. She might well be a very nice person in real life, but that article and that technique and that level of journalism she did does not merit a job at Hull Lab. Does not merit a job at any professional journalism practice. It just doesn't. It just doesn't, ladies and gentlemen. But that just about does it for this video. I want to thank you for watching, and I shall see you guys on the flip side. Adios.